Hello everyone, Game Horizon here and welcome back to another episode of Connell Ship Build. Alright, let's go through the ship, check out different parts of it, doing a little bit of showcasing, especially on the part that I worked not last week, I was gonna say last week, on the last video. So the engineering, the CIC and some other stuff. Then we'll get to the video. While I'm doing the showcasing, I just want to say thank you guys so much for checking out the mod that I've uploaded about 2 weeks ago. Got great response from that, amazing comments. It meant a lot to me. Thank you so much. And I guess a little bit of update on what's next on the modding side of stuff. I finished the small blocks, so I have to upload that, and I also finished the BFG mod. I saw a lot of people asking where is the mod, and it's ready. If you guys want to have a early access and like check it out, help me, give me some feedback and stuff, you can download it from my Patreon. You have to join, of course. That would be amazing. And also thank you to that one person that joined my Patreon. That means a lot to me, actually. Thank you so much. In the last episode, I've mentioned that I wanted to create two crew modules on this part of the ship, right in front of the core and the CIC. Not really in front of, but like the sides of it. You'll see what I mean. And crew modules are gonna be related to the engineers and the people that work on the CIC. Basically, the people that are responsible to just run the ship, make sure everything works fine as intended and stuff like that. Then we're gonna have another type of crew related to the civilian part of the ship. Those guys are gonna be in the city, and I'm gonna actually start working on the city in this episode, so watch the rest of the video if you're interested. And I started with one of the modules only. I really don't know why. I think I forgot to actually turn on the symmetry, and I was like, let me just go with this and see if it's gonna actually look good or not. If it did look good, well, I can just copy the ship, cut this piece, and then paste it on the left side, or actually it's on the right side of the ship. Not a big deal, and I did that actually. I went through different design iteration for the crew module until I settled down with what you guys are seeing, and this usually takes a very long time, and what you guys are seeing is actually a very shortened and cut it down clips for just this video. I really want to make sure this ship is as good as possible. I want to take my time with this, a lot of iteration and just different design until I settle down with what I'm actually happy with. And speaking of being happy with, I was actually gonna use small blocks to create interior for a lot of the modules, but the ship already runs at not a good FPS, and the ship currently is actually a station. When I turn it into a ship, my sim drops to 0.7 to 0.8, and when I move it, that's get really bad. So no small blocks, unfortunately. I really wanted to do some small blocks interior design and stuff like that, super detailed, but I guess not. So I'll add the DLCs to the ship, even though I really didn't want to do this, because I wanted to keep the ship as vanilla possible and as accessible as possible. So that was all for the left module, where we're gonna have our the crew quarter, main crew quarter. We're gonna have our bed and like your personal inventory and stuff like that. But on the right module, I decided to create hibernation area. Like, we're gonna have a bunch of cryopods, a lot of them, and on the lower level, I don't think we can call it lower deck, but on the lower level we're gonna have a bunch of medical room. decided to use some kind of a sky bridge. I don't think I can actually call it a sky bridge, it's more of a like space bridge, whatever, to connect these two modules to each other. Now I was worried that it might abstract the view from to the outside of the ship from inside the CIC, but while sitting at the main command module and command seat, it looks fine. We still have a really good view to the outside of the ship, not a big deal. So let's talk about the design a little bit, shall we? So the people that have been here for a very long time, they know that glass on this ship is the main design language on this ship. Like, use as much as glass as possible. There's also one more thing. I really like to keep that ribcage style design as well, and that's why I designed the crew module the way I did. And I think it really look cool, and look, you're gonna get some really cool views out of the ship, and why hide it? Using glass to be able to look outside of those modules was a very big priority for me. Alright, after 2 years, we're finally ready to work on the city area. I was like, okay, what should I do first? What should I work on first? And I was like, maybe we should start with this support beam for the glass, like the strut and these cutouts. I think they are good candidate to just come up with a style, some kind of a design, and then just go from there and build out the city. So I did a little bit of research, and I just sat back and thought about the things that are needed for a city. And well, I got a list, but I really didn't know where I should start. So I just started with this one. First, let's build a market. Then we're gonna work on a restaurant. After that, a bar. And maybe entertainment area, we're gonna add that to the bar. And then after that, we can work on the residential area, our first residential area. So let's get building. So the one I'm currently working on is going to be our market. We're going to have one on the right and another one on the left side of the ship. Now, in terms of layout, especially the exterior, it's going to be exactly the same, but interior, I will change a few things. Don't want everything to be carbon copy of each other. I want variety on this ship. And then we're going to build something really similar to the marketplace, but for the restaurant. In terms of like design language, it's gonna be kind of the same. Again, with everything with the ship, I'm gonna use a lot of glass. Oh, and something really important, I guess, a walkway, so we won't be able to actually access these areas. Now, I'm gonna have every part of the ship connected to each other in one way or another, so walkways are gonna be really important. Now, I was thinking about some kind of a monorail on the ship, like a very small train or like a bus, but it's on a rail. And while we are at it, let's build a giant space bridge. I'm not sure if it makes sense to have the marketplace connected to the restaurant, but if you think about it, most big marketplaces have some kind of a restaurant in them anyway, so why not? Let's attach them via a big, very long, that sounds really wrong as well, sky bridge. The view from this is really good. I'm probably gonna put bunch of chairs, and I'll try my best not to cover it too much, though I want to have a few things on top of it. We'll see how it goes. Now there is something that actually came into my mind while I was working on the market area and the restaurant. I never thought about it, and I want to get your guys' opinion and thought on this. Mainly your opinion, actually. I want to know what you guys think. So, what kind of ship is this? Let me rephrase that. Who owns this ship? Is this owned by some kind of shady corporation? Is this owned by government, or is this just humanity came together and built a ship? Yeah, I know it's really fantasy, humanity coming together and doing something like this. Anyway, I'm leaning towards shady corporation because I want to put bunch of advertisement on all of those LCDs. I think it's gonna look really cool, but I don't know. Let me know your opinion, your thought on what kind of ship you guys want this to be. I can change the color scheme, the lighting, add a lot of things to this ship to make it feel like it's owned by some big, shady, multi-trillion-dollar company. Let me know your thought and your opinion down in the comment section. Alright, that's it for these two structure. If you guys are interested, watch till the end of the video. I recolor all of the things that I've built in this episode, and I've added lighting as well. That's where it actually will look really good and will come to life. Let's continue. So in the last video, I've mentioned that I had plans for those giant circular windows on the side of the ship. I wanted to turn them into some kind of an observatory or like a park with vertical gravity, so it would look really cool when you actually get inside those. But I think I've changed my mind. Not sure yet. That idea still exists, but I want to turn this part of the ship into a giant like garden or park. Add bunch of chairs and make fake trees using small block. I think it will look really good and it fits this part of the ship really well. Alright, with those ideas aside, let's start working on our first residential area. So there is this really cool and weird looking hotel in Japan. It's a capsule hotel, and for our first residential area, I was inspired by that. This is gonna be our first tier, and then we're gonna build our second tier and third tier and so on. It actually turned out to be my favorite part of the ship right now. It looked really cool. Now I went through different type and style for the capsules themselves, and I've ended up actually using two of them. One was like straight up just round blocks, and then one mix of both round blocks and your typical blocks. So as you guys have noticed, the capsules themselves are, well, empty. Well, that's because I don't own the DLCs right now, and it's okay. It's gonna just add a lot of extra work, like another hour. It's not actually a lot, it's just another hour of work, and it's fine because I don't want every single capsule to look exactly the same, even though that's the point of those kind of hotel anyway, but that's not what I want. And I think we are at 3 layer on this capsule hotel, and that's pretty much the limit of the, I guess, the ceiling of the ship. I've added as many as I could. Alright, we're done with our tier 1 residential building. Let's go work on the one on the left. That's gonna be our second tier. The rooms are gonna be bigger, but in terms of look and the design, It's gonna be more like your typical boring type of building, but I decided to have a little bit more shape, have some part of it sticking out a little bit more, add like light outside the structure itself to make it look a little bit more interesting. I didn't get to finish it in this episode. I was just pretty much running out of time, and I recorded for 8 hours, and not in one session, of course, but I had enough footage to make one good video, so I will continue the work on this part of the ship in the next episode, and I'm just rambling right now. Alright, that's all I've managed to build for this episode. I will continue it in the next one, so if you're interested, maybe subscribe. And while we're at it, let's go check some of the rooms and how I'm planning to do the interior for each one. And of course, I will fill all of the rooms, won't leave anything empty. And we're done. Here's a quick like showcase on everything that we worked on, all the lighting and the changes in the color and stuff like that. And yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know how I can improve my videos, and sorry for my bad English, not my main language. And if you find my videos interesting, maybe subscribe and maybe check out my Patreon page. That would mean a lot to me. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, fly safe. Goodbye.